Hello and welcome back to another video with Read, Watch and Talk, where I, Geeti, talk to you about books, movies and sometimes just randomly yap about life. So today's yapping or today's discussion is going to be personal because I recently watched the Bollywood film Chhava, and anybody who knows me knows how big a fan I am of this thing called Bollywood. So today's video is going to be about a few pointers on why I felt Chhava could have been different. I think Vicky Kaushal has emerged as one of the most brilliant actors of our generation. On a personal level, I'm a big fan of him, so I really love the way he has been evolving with his roles. So Chhava is going to be like those once in a lifetime performances for him. Anyway, to get into the film now, apart from what Vicky Kaushal has done, what does Chhava mean? The titular significance. Chhava is the word for a lion's cub, and very promisingly, Vicky Kaushal lives up to the terminology and he portrays himself as one of the most valiant warriors. Sambhaji Maharaj being the son of the great Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who was the founder of the Marathan Empire. I think Vicky Kaushal has done a brilliant job with it. Having said that, what I want to move on to is that this metaphorical lion, or the lion's son, this metaphor has been taken to an extended level, with the film being filled with unnecessary growling and roaring. Anyway, so here was an experience which was not less than deafening for me. What I really want to talk about this film is the fact that anger has been used extensively in this film, and anger has its own socio-political implications as well as psychological implications. But to begin with, what I want to say is that this anger factor, which has been extensively used by the makers, I understand, but I think somewhere it didn't match up to what we wanted as an experience. I mean, these can be different, like the views can be different from different people, they might have different opinions, but for now the opinion that I am cultivating within myself is the fact that I think it was unnecessary. They extensively used explicit anger, which was leading to explicit bloodshed and the destructive violence. Probably destructive is a underrated word. I would rather use the word disturbing. The violence was overly disturbing for me, because I was the same person who in 2023, when Animal came out, I shouted my lungs out saying that you are promoting violence, Mr. Vanga. So right now I'm going to say the same thing, that I have not felt comfortable watching such disturbing violence. I hope you understand how much it had impacted me as a viewer, because I was not comfortable watching all of those disturbing violence scenes. For me, Sambhaji's anger was justified, but I couldn't find a proper justification for the rage. As a literature student, I can very well classify Sambhaji as one of the stoics, for whom the anger, the rage, the spirit of revenge, all of these things inculcate into being a perfect man. The idea of manhood, the idea of that's what I'm saying. The idea of masculinity here has been shown in a very problematic way. The beginning was a little slow, definitely, but the second half was completely filled with violence, only violence. I think there could have been a better way to interpret Sambhaji's life. That's what I'm saying. Is this rage justified, or is this rage a misplaced rage? Like, you just put your rage somewhere. Like, you just have to show the rage, that's why you're showing the rage. Because the rage, the anger can also be seen as a psychological signifier of not accepting loss. Losing a battle against Aurangzeb, in reality, has been transported as the psychological victory of stoicism when Sambhaji refuses to give up. According to the rules of the battle, when Sambhaji has been captured and taken to Aurangzeb, it means that the battle has ended and the Marathas have lost, Mughals have won. But here the implications have been changed. We are definitely being shown an Aurangzeb who comes up and says ki, why isn't there a Chhava in our family? Why haven't we gotten this hero in our family? Mr. Akshay Khanna has portrayed Aurangzeb with like this. Like, Aurangzeb has to be one of the most difficult characters for someone to play because he's a tyrannical emperor. Most of the acting that Mr. Khanna has done was from with his coal-laid eyes, the kajal in his eyes, the eyes. I think I have looked at the eyes. The number of times that Mr. Khanna was on screen, I have only looked at his eyes and not given any dialogue, any preference. Like, his eyes were everything. As one of the most valiant figures in history, Sambhaji Maharaj's portrayal in our history books have been really less, and I think more space must be given to these heroes. I will not say that we shouldn't be learning the Mughal history, but all such histories are important. Along with the Mughal history, the Marathan history, many other empires around the country during the 1600s, 17th century, 18th century, we need to know and learn about all of them. That's what I'm trying to say. So the final point that I'm going to talk about is, I think it's going to be a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm still talking about it because from the very beginning of the film, something that I didn't like was the fact that the white horse and the black horse. During the initial scenes when Sambhaji Maharaj attacks with his army on the kingdom of Aurangzeb, we see him approaching with a white horse, while the army of Aurangzeb, they are on their black horses. So it just suddenly clicked my mind. I don't know if it's my overanalyzing brain or if it's true, but don't we usually associate good and evil with white and black? I think it should have been open to interpretation and not symbolically shown through various such ways that we are promoting a supremacy of one particular cultural segment over another particular cultural segment, cultural as well as religious. As for a person who has always voiced secular thoughts, would be a little too much to say, but a person who has always voiced humanity over everything, I think my first and very basic problem was with the fact that the representation was a bit inclined towards one sect, and history is yet again subjective. The historical accounts that we learn and know can be wrong, can be influenced by the socio-cultural factors. So I think that's what my basic point is, that when you're portraying something on screen and it is for the wider audience around the country, around the world, you just cannot uphold a virtue by diminishing another virtue. First and foremost, I do not believe in the concept of religion because I believe in God. I do not believe in religion. I believe in God because God is a divine entity. Religion is a man-made gimmick. So, I'm not talking in favor of any religion, but I also have a problem with these problematic representations. Performance-wise, it's a great film. They have probably done the research well as well. So my emotional connection with the film was broken like 15 minutes into the film. Bodies in the flood, like in the river, it's only blood, it's red colored water. So all of that really made me feel disturbed from inside. So myth making through anger is something that I don't really am a big fan of. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget, like, share and subscribe, and keep the bell icon on so that whenever I post a video, you are the first person to know.